I get those goosebumps every time. I get those goosebumps every time. I'm around, yeah.
You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those cons, I'm way too numb, yeah. This is way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time. I need the hype, throw that to the side, yo. I get those goosebumps every time.
Good afternoon, stroke evening, everyone. We are back here. We're done with work for a little bit, and we thought we'd come and join you to talk all things Newcastle United. Happy transfer deadline day. For one, I am glad this is coming to the end. I'm done with it. Feels like the longest summer ever. But Chris, how are you, fella? How's things?
Yeah, feeling exactly the same as you, mate. Really, really busy day in work, but very, very glad that this is coming to an end. And do you know what's weird, Pete? And we may touch on it very briefly. I'm surprised at how I'm feeling today, because when the news broke late last night, which I'm sure we're probably going to go to, when the news broke late last night, I was almost in shock. It was a bit weird. Like I couldn't really process it. Struggled to get to sleep, and then weirdly, I just woke up today and I just thought, get me that second striker. Go and get me that second striker, and this will be fine. And as soon as that news broke, mate, which I know we're going to talk about, I just felt 100 times better. And I just feel like there's a release. I just feel like I'm like, right, the line's been drawn. We know where we are. We never have to talk about it ever again, apart from now. And everything as well. Oh, here we go. Hang on a minute.
Hey.
How's this guy? How's this guy doing? How you doing, Dazzler?
Evening, Christopher. Evening, Peter.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm on strike, lads. I'm on strike. Black screen. Not happy.
You're not happy?
This is how we get. No, I'm not happy. I'm maybe one of the few, but I'm not happy. This is how you get things sorted. Obviously, this is how a great example to the kids. You go on strike and then you get what you want.
Yeah, well, I think for a lot of Newcastle United fans, we've got exactly what we want, because he's gone. He has finally gone. The rat has gone. He's on his way to Anfield. And yes, last night it was confirmed by Luke Edwards. He's the one that started the rumours that we were potentially going to accept 130 million. We then did accept 130 million, and the deal was agreed with Alexander Isak and Liverpool. Negotiations over the fee was kind of rumoured by David Ornstein, and then he also confirmed that the deal was done. Lots of discrepancies about the 125, 130. Was it one? Was it the other? Well, it seems like it was all in 125. The reason being is because, as Craig Hope said, Isak will not receive a loyalty payment from Newcastle, which would have been around the £5 million mark. And so therefore, that makes it total of 130 million. But the key thing is that he is gone. Daz, you've already shared your opinions on it. You're on strike because Isak has left the club. Chris, your opinions on it? How you feeling? Obviously, you talked about it late last night. You've had, most of the day, 7-8 hours of the day to kind of let it sink in. How you feeling? You happy that he's gone? Are you not? Are you annoyed? Where do you sit?
Do you know what? the emotional rollercoaster is still underway, but all I can say is I'm at the end of the ride now. I'm pleased. I'm actually pleased that it's done. Don't have to talk about it anymore. Alexander Isak is a Liverpool player. Don't need to talk about it. And I've washed my hands of him. I really have. I think we've got a fair fee, and I think we'll look back, boys, and I think we'll think, you know, the 150 was what we allegedly wanted. That was what, you know, Newcastle were demanding. However, given Alexander Isak's behaviour, given his professionalism or lack of, I think we've actually done well to secure 130 million fee in the end. I think we spoke about it, didn't we, in recent weeks, that this was probably going to be the sweet spot. And let's not forget, boys, we don't know what would have happened when the transfer window ended. We don't know whether Alexander Isak would have come back into the fold. Somebody mentioned, I forget who it was, and said, I don't know how true it is, that when you took all the games into account, there wasn't actually that many between you know, coming back from international duty and then January. So feasibly, he could have just said, I'm not going to play anymore. And let's not forget, boys, that figure, the longer it went on, that figure was just going to go down and down and down and down. Yes, I wanted 150 million. Maybe that was unrealistic, who knows? But the main thing is we've got 130 million in the coffers. We know that we still owed roughly about 30 million on Alexander Isak. We've managed to clear roughly 100 million profit, if reports are to be believed. And the big caveat, which is, I think Daz was the first one who brought it up, the big caveat was we needed to replace Alexander Isak. We've got Nick Voltemade, or Voltemade, should I say, in. We needed to replace Callum Wilson. We've got YOANE WISSA in. And the third deal was that we needed a price that we were all happy or content with, should we say, maybe not happy, but content with. And for me, I think we've ticked all of those boxes. And now, as you know, people in the chat have already been mentioning, he's not our problem. He's not our concern. Good luck to Liverpool. Good luck to Alexander Isak. And especially good luck to Hugo Ekitike, because I think things are going to get very interesting when Alexander Isak steps through that door. So, yeah, I'm pleased it's come to a conclusion. And I'm pleased that we can draw a line under it. That's how it's genuinely how I feel. This has come a year earlier than what I wanted. It's come a year earlier than I anticipated, but I'm glad it's here. And as I said to you before, I'm glad we will soon no longer have to talk about Alexander Isak.
Yeah, Daz, you've been on strike, as we can tell. Tell us why you're on strike. Tell us why you're feeling this way.
No, it's not that I'm on strike, really. I'm just saying that this is how players get what they want, I guess, and it's just a great example to everybody else, isn't it? But no, the reasons why I'm a bit pissed off of today and transfer deadline day is because, like, overall the transfer window, the squad has improved. We've strengthened the goalkeeping department. We've strengthened the defence. We've strengthened the midfield with a right winger in Alanga, and we've got two strikers now as well going into this. Continuing on the season, not even going into the season because the season has already started. And also, I'm a bit pissed off because, like, the ownership said we weren't selling. Then I know there's caveats there. Obviously, a deal could not be done with Alexander Isak. He wasn't for turning. His head was turned, and he wasn't going to come back. So then, yeah, we have to cash out. I think we've undersold him in with 130 for me. I would have demanded more, but. For those reasons, look, we are where we are. We had to do something. Then I'm going to move on because I'm sorry, guys, I can't stay long. As you guys know, I've my little lad today. So in terms of Wissa, then coming in, I think we've way overpaid for Wissa. Wissa was always lower down my priority list, but I think he's a good player. Definitely get behind him, and I think he'll score a goal for us. But at 29, going to AFCON, blah blah blah. For me, he was worth 35 plus 5, not 50 plus 5. That is seriously overpaid for him. Then I'll jump on to the other topic is Osula. I think that's a brilliant deal. Buying him for 15, selling him for 30. That's a great bit of business. But I think with less than 1 hour, 45 minutes left of the window, we realistically aren't going to bring in anyone else. Please surprise me if we are. But I think on transfer deadline day or the last 24 hours, I think it could have gone better for us. Look, we've got Nick Valtermeda. He's got a lot to prove as well. I think he'll be a great player for us, but it's throwing him in the deep end here now as well. And that's where we are for me. So I can't get too excited about everything as it's played out today. But overall, the window, we've strengthened the squad. Have we? If you compare the 11 that will take the pitch this season to if we had our full 11 last season on the pitch, I don't know. Is it better? Overall, the depth is there now in the squad. We need that going into the Champions League. But the way it's played out already, it's a damper on the season. It's ate into the season already. So fun times ahead. But going to get behind everybody. Going to get want us to see build towards next season more so than anything else. And the good thing is, I suppose, as well, another good point to take is that we have plenty of cash now, and PSR issues aren't going to be a worry for us going forward. But Liverpool get their way, boys.
I'm going to save my sort of overall feelings for the show later on tonight when the window's closed. But I am absolutely delighted that Alexander Isak has left the football club. He has completed his medical. All that's done. I am so happy. I'm just going to put that out there first. He was a black cloud over this club for the last 10 weeks of this summer, maybe not 10 weeks, the last 8 weeks or so. He's been a dark cloud of speculation, and then a dark cloud of just causing so much problems and negativity to what was meant to be a positive summer. So I'm really glad that he's gone. I'm really glad. I would have loved to see him squirm at St. James's Park against Wolves. I would have liked that. But actually, the best things happened. He's left the club, and we've been compensated quite well for it. I think I mentioned last night, 130 million was my sort of bottom value of Alexander Isak. That was the key for me, and we got it. We got the 130 million. So I'm happy that Alexander Isak has left the club. The key for me was, and always was, can we get our replacement in? We knew we had Nick Valtermeda. He's in the club. He is ultimately the Isak replacement. Could we get that Callum Wilson replacement in? That was the bit that I was worried about, because there was not enough noise for my liking. Now, we'll just have a quick run through on how that transpired, because Craig Hope did say, as for Alexander Isak replacements, they were still trying for YOANE Wissa. That was this morning. Jurgen Strand Larsen was off the table. It wasn't happening. However, Fabrizio Romano, out of nowhere, breaks the news not long after that tweet had been put out that there was a here we go deal verbally agreed, £55 million package, 50 million plus 5 deal done, and we get our striker. And for me, I was absolutely delighted at that. For me, I could breathe easy. For me, I felt that our window was done. We invested everything that we needed to at this particular time in this team for what I expected. David Ornstein came in, said 55 million fixed, 50 rising to 55, half now, half in 2026. Interestingly, Keith Downey then reported that he was already in Newcastle. So it wasn't like he had to travel all the way up to Newcastle. He was already there. So that, for me, is what I wanted to see. We've got our striker that's willing to travel there, and he's desperate to sign for Newcastle United. Forget all the noise about what he's done and all the rest of it over the summer. He wants to play for Newcastle United, and that's what I loved about it, to the point where he drove through the night to want to be there. I loved it. And it says there, Keith Downey just tweeted this out, just put this out as we were live. YOANE Wissa drove up through the night to be in a position to sign for Newcastle United on deadline. Okay, absolutely superb. He then arrived to undergo his medical at City Hospital. And actually, just as we went live, breaking news. YOANE WISSA on Sky Sports News. YOANE WISSA has completed his medical. So his medical is complete. We now just are awaiting his official announcement. So I'm absolutely buzzing that we've finally got two strikers that are fit, willing, and able to do the business for Newcastle United. Because I tell you what, in the last 2 years, we have not had that at all. And these are our boys now. For me, these are our boys that take us forward. Nick Voltemeda and YOANE WISSA, our number 27 and our number 9 are the guys that are going to take us forward. So for me, all the noise for a second gets put to a side. On the basis of things, we've got what we needed. I said to you boys at the start of this summer, I wanted 6 signings. We now have 6 signings. We wanted positions filled. We now have positions filled. Newcastle United have fulfilled their promises to themselves and to us that they would fulfill and make the signings necessary to have the squad big enough to go and attack this season. Now let's go and attack this season. Draw a line under this ridiculously long summer window and let's go and attack the season and let's make it a good one. That's for me. That's what it's all about right now. So I'm absolutely buzzing. 1, that the rat's out the door. 2, we've got 2 strikers in that want to be here and are good strikers at that. Let's go. Let's go, people. Anything to add, boys? Any questions, any comments, anything else you want to put in there?
We've got a super chat, so I'm going to bring that up from Ado Pool, so you can guess who Ado supports. And Ado says, see you same time next year for Bruno. You'll never walk alone. Well, maybe Ado, maybe, but I hope you bring your wallet with you if you do. And rest assured, Bruno Guimaraes will not act in the same way that Alexander Isak has acted. And I think he will struggle to get hold of Bruno Guimaraes because he is fully committed to Newcastle United. But I like how you admire him. I do like that. So thank you very much. And thank you for the super chat as well, all jokes aside.
Don't be thanking him.
You got to thank him for the super chat.
No, don't be thanking Smithy. He's been giving me abuse all summer long. And he'll continue to give me abuse.
This is one of your boys, is it?
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, all part of the same.
Just to be clear, Bruno will not be going to Liverpool. That's absolutely clear. So you can get excited about that, but yeah.
Boys, a little comment here from Dennis Snow. Good to see you in the chat, Dennis. Are we going to give Andy Howe the credit he's earned for turning this transfer window around? And somebody else asked a question earlier, and they said, "What would you rate this transfer window in out of 10? What kind of sort?" I thought that was an interesting question. We've still got an hour and 37 minutes left of the transfer window, so something could still break. Will Osula get his move to Frankfurt? Who knows? But as things sit right this moment, how would you rate the transfer window out of 10? I'll start with you, Pete.
I wasn't going to do mine. I was going to wait until.
You want to wait until? Should we wait? Should we do it later? Though we promised Dennis. Tune in later, and we will do it.
Yeah, we'll do it then. Sorry, Dennis. We'll do it on the later show when the window's closed. We can properly fully assess it as it stands. I think that's probably the right way to go about it.
Yeah. We've also had another comment here, Stu Amos. Stu, great to see you in the chat, mate. Stu Amos says he disagrees with caving and knee-bending narrative. We've heard many narratives from Liverpool fans. I've had many of them today on this device, many things. But we've been consistent on here. The 3 things that we mentioned earlier: we want the fee, we want the replacement for Isak, and we want the replacement for Callum Wilson. And so far, we're pretty much nearly there to succeeding with all 3. Would we have liked 150 million? Absolutely. But I still think that we've ended up with a decent fee of 130 million. Taking into account what Daz said earlier, and I think it's fair, Daz, you look at 2 players who have not behaved in the very best way in order to secure moves, and I've got to include YOANE WISSA in that. Because he's caused a bit of turmoil for Brentford. But I think what is pleasing about this is that we've come to a conclusion and we can draw the line under it. And as long as YOANE WISSA doesn't start behaving like that as a Newcastle United player, I think we've got to treat him with a clean slate. But yeah, let me see if there's any other questions that I can ask. Bill Ashby asks, boys, 30 million for Will Osula with a buyback clause is a brilliant piece of business. Do you agree? Do you agree with that, boys? Daz, I'll start with you.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's been the highlight. Definitely the highlight of today. Maybe the highlight of the window. Because yeah, if he does really well, we can buy him back, and then it could actually be in our favor in PSR reasons as well, because he's the contract we'd buy him back out would be stretched out as well. So that's a good one. Just I'm gonna switch it back to Osula for a second, or so to Wissa for a second. No, you do have to admire in one sense that he was so desperate to come to Newcastle. I suppose in the same way Isak was so desperate to go to Liverpool, but he really had his heart set on going to Newcastle. And I don't believe he. Even though he went down a lot of the same roads that Isak went down, he wasn't quite as bad as Isak. But he's now got the challenge of living up to the price tag that it's not his fault, the price tag, but of 55 million. So he has to come with goals, and I know it's going to be difficult for him because he's obviously hasn't missed the first 3 games, and he's going to be going to AFCON. So I want 15 goals, Wissa, this season.
Pete, obviously, I want to hear your thoughts on Will Osula and that potential deal. Not been confirmed yet, but we know that there's talks ongoing. But also, I think it's a good point, and you were very, very positive talking about YOANE Wissa earlier, and rightly so. I think it's a really good sign for Newcastle United. But how do you feel about the fee?
YOANE Wissa? I don't care.
No,
I don't care. I just don't care. My priority is not the fee. My priority was getting a second striker in. If you were to be asked and weigh up, would you want to sign YOANE Wissa for 55 million and have 2 strikers to go into your season, or to have 1 striker and potentially that striker that's a new striker to England, new striker to the Premier League, needs bedded in time? I think most Newcastle fans, if not all Newcastle fans, would say, I want 2 strikers. And yes, we know it's expensive. We know it's 55 million. Not my money. Why should I care? At this point in the window, with 24, 40 hours to go, we didn't know whether we were going to get a second striker or not. For us to pull that deal out the bag and get it done and buy YOANE Wissa, someone, let's not forget, that scored 19 Premier League goals last season. Non-penalty goals, by the way. Non-penalty goals, so all in play goals. For me, it's a great it's a great addition to the squad. That's exactly what was needed. Now what we have is 2 players that can attack this season up front. Finally, we've got strikers that we can provide service for. The fee means nothing to me. I don't care.
And how do you feel about the Osula deal? So in terms of the deal itself, but also in terms of the fee.
The fee, I'll be honest, I'm still in shock. The fee is absolutely outrageous. It's outrageous money. And I said it to you boys the other day. I was like, if we can get 15 million or more for Will Osula, see you later. Off you go.
Well,
because for me, he's not ready. He's not ready. He's not ready. He was never going to make it at Newcastle United. Will Osula was never going to make it at Newcastle United. And I'll tell you something now. This buyback clause will not be activated by Newcastle United. It won't be, because he won't make it. Right? I think it's an incredible deal that Newcastle United done. 30 million or 28.5, whatever it is, to get Will Osula out the door and to Frankfurt. We are laughing. And actually, when you weigh that up, that means that effectively we paid 20 million for YOANE Wissa. So that makes me feel better about the YOANE Wissa deal, because what we've made on Will Osula is part what we paid for YOANE Wissa. So if you average those out or work those out, 20 million for YOANE Wissa seems about right if you consider the money that we've got for Will Osula. And I'll be honest, I woke up this morning never in a million years expected Newcastle United to potentially sell Will Osula for £30 million. Nobody did.
No
It's
one
an
did.
outrageous deal. Outrageous. Honestly, it's superb business for the club. Superb business.
But there's one thing though I want to pull you up on, because it is a bit contradictory, where you don't care about the fee paid for Wissa, but you care about the fee, what we're getting for Osula. And I know when you do the maths and balance it out, it take care of itself. But
I never said I cared about the fee. I said it's an outrageous fee. I said it's a fee that I never expected us to get. And when you get that sort of money, you've got to take it. You have to take it, because for me, he'll be lucky if he's ever worth that again in his career. So I never said I cared about Osula's money, but I didn't care about Wissa. I didn't care about Yoane Wissa's monies, because at this point we are under pressure. We are under pressure to get a second striker in, and that for me at this point in the window is more important than the fee that we pay. Whoever we sign, we have to overpay. You look at this window and you then look at Will Osula. Everybody's overpaying this summer. Everybody. There is no one here, like in any of these deals that you can see, where you've gone for a top level player, where you've gone, actually, value for money. Everyone's being questioned. Everyone's being questioned. You got Verts that's being questioned on his fee. Ekitike still has got lots to prove. He's had a good start, but people will be questioning him if he goes a few days without doing well. Every fee has been inflated. So for me, I'm not gonna hold myself or the club to account on that. With less than 24 hours to go, we needed a second striker. We've gone and paid the money to get that deal done and through the door. Like, who am I to judge that? Who am I to judge that?
Wissa could eventually be worth more than 55 million. It could work out that way. I don't believe that this deal just was done last night, and I believe this deal was agreed and played out from Monday onwards, when that meeting took place. That's when the wheels got in motion, and we only heard about it from last night. So for me, I would, and maybe they did try and look at other options as well. Obviously they were looking at Strand Larsen, but that became crazy fee as well. It would be stupid to pay 70 million for Strand Larsen, let's say, as well. But we would have been overpaying if we got him for that price as well. So yeah, you were right that we were being held to ransom a bit because we needed that second striker.
Yeah, I mean, look, you look at Brentford. Just over 24 hours ago, we're quoting 65 million for Yoane Wissa. Like, that would have been absolutely ridiculous. We've overpaid for Yoane Wissa, but I'll continue to say, needs must. We need two strikers to take us forward into this season. His goals and his contribution could be absolutely crucial for two reasons. One, because of the type of player that he is, and two, he will be a great fold for Nick Voltemade, and he's got a bedding in period at Newcastle United. We're putting a lot of pressure on him, and I'm confident that he'll do the business. But what's great to have is a second striker to come on that offers something different. We could not have gone into this season with Nick Voltemade. It would have been exactly the same as what we did with Alexander Isak last season, where it was just all constantly one striker, and we had one way of playing. We've got two strikers that offer two different ways of playing that opens up the game. We have to do that with the amount of games that we've got this season. It was an absolute must. We got a second striker. We've overpaid, but we had to do it. We had to. Yeah, it was the only way.
Yeah, and ultimately, I mean, as well, you could go on forever, couldn't you? I mean, look at the deal that we had to do with Nottingham Forest, which resulted in us getting Odyssey's Vlachodimos and losing Elliot Anderson. You can go on forever, can't you? And certain transfers work out and certain ones don't. And let's be honest, like you've already said, Pete, we end up paying 55 million for Yoane Wissa. If Yoane Wissa goes and scores 15 goals in the next 2 or 3 seasons per season, we'll look back and go, what a great signing. What a great signing.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, with the Vlachodimos, like, it was either Vlachodimos for 20 million or 10-point deduction. 10-point deduction would have meant no Champions League football. Like it's on a knife edge. You look back at things, you go, it's on a knife edge. For all we know, Nick Voltemada, who, to be fair, hasn't been injured in 4 years, could have pulled up an injury and went back to square one again. We're back to Will Osula or Gordon as a striker, but for the next 3 or 4 months, we'd have been screwed. But is what it is.
Yeah. Absolutely. Dazzler's had to shoot. Yeah. Any last comments or questions or anything, Pete? I can't see. Let's see. Even on 15.
I just wanted to throw up on the screen. About. Sorry, no, that was the one from before. I just wanted to put on that. This is an interesting stat from today. YOANE WISSA generated more non-penalty XG than Alexander Isak last season. What did we
play? By the way, Pete, playing for Brentford.
Yeah, exactly. I think there was a couple of other things, but I'll save that for later on the show. There was, I think there was one question. I don't know if you put this one up.
Yeah.
Do we need cover? Have you already put that one up?
No, mate. No. Funnily enough, I was just reading it myself. So Stu Amos says, do we need cover if we let Osula go? Not necessarily a striker, but another attacking option. Could be a winger, could be a cam. Do you know what, Stu? I think me, Pete, and Daz have all said this. I'd love to see a right centre mid come in. I'd love to see a number 8, possibly number 10, come in. I genuinely think that is the last piece of the puzzle. It might not come this window. It might come in January. Who knows? But that, for me, that would be an absolutely fantastic window if we could bring one in. We've only got an hour and 23 minutes now, so possibly unlikely, but who knows? This transfer window has been so mental. I wouldn't necessarily rule it out. In terms of Osula going, Stu, for me, I think Osula's been let go because we've got Nick Voltemada, we've got YOANE WISSA, and then we've got Anthony Gordon as the third option. So I think in striker-wise, I wouldn't expect us to sign another striker, and I don't think we need another striker, if I'm honest. It would be, for me, a number 8, number 10, particularly on that right-hand side. But what about you, Pete?
Look, we're not going to get it. I think from the noises coming out now, I think we're done. And look, we've got less than 2 hours left in the window, so I don't see it personally. But absolutely, yeah, I would have loved a sort of a number 10 or an attacking 8, should we say? Someone that can get forward and advance the ball, someone with a bit of creativity. I would have loved someone like that to be added to this team. But hey, we've just made 30 million on Will Osula. I fully expect Newcastle United to go back into the market in January to bolster this squad. So yes, we don't have that player right now, but you can bet, almost guarantee, that Newcastle, now we have money in our pockets, that we're in a position to go and strengthen in those particular areas. And we've got 3 or 4 months to do it.
That would be brilliant.
I think, I mean, that would have been ideal, but I don't think Atletico Madrid, I think Diego Simeone really likes him, and I think he likes to have his squad quite bolstered as well. So I think Conor Gallagher will probably want to assess where he's at, but he will absolutely be a January move, because I think Palace were looking at him as a loan as well. I think there was interest from us and a few other teams. Like he's a classic example of someone that if we get through the group stage of the Champions League, that you go and invest in someone like him and you bolster him to the team. Like I think that's the type of deal that we'd be looking at, but not today. I think it's too late in the day, and I think there was so much focus on getting that second striker that I think that was the priority, and rightly so, by the way. But yeah, it is what it is. We've covered all areas that we needed to as priority. We have got 6 midfielders, albeit we'd have probably liked to ship one out and bring one in. That can be done in January. We could have probably added a left back to cover properly Lewis Hall, so we can focus Tino as a right back. That didn't need to happen as a necessity, unless there's a mass load of injuries, which thankfully there isn't right now. So we're bolstered, boys. We've got 2 strikers, 2 right wingers, 2 left wingers. We've got 6 midfielders. We've got altogether 4 fullbacks, and
5 centre backs.
5 centre backs. What?
3 goalies.
2 main goalkeepers, but 3 altogether. 4 if you throw Gillespie in. We have a bolstered squad. That is the squad that we identified before the season. Forget the rejections. That almost feels like a little stain on this window now. It doesn't feel like anything, those rejections up until July. They mean nothing because this Isak stuff completely overridden everything. However, remember, people, we wanted 2 in every position. We now have it, at least. We've got what we needed, right? Keep those players fit. Keep that system going. Eddie Howe will get these boys playing. I'm absolutely convinced of it. And I'm really, really pleased with getting YOANE WISSA in today. Very, very
and you know what makes it even better, Pete? A couple of things I want to say before we wrap. A few people have said it in the chat. Paul Sprague says it. Seen someone say we've only had a £57 million net spend. The Clon lad says it's a £56 million net spend. Yeah. We will get into that later. But when you look at that and you think all that business, and we've spent a net of 56 million. Plus, by the way, we've got all this Alexander Isak money. It bodes well. It bodes very well. And I think that's why I'm so upbeat about it, because considering where we were a few weeks ago with this transfer window, if you'd have offered me Nick Voldemade and YOANE WISSA, I'd have snapped your hand off. I think now we go into the season with 2 very, very good strikers. Volta, Tony, Timebridge. 56 million if Osula goes, madness. It is madness. Net spend of 56 million. Very, very impressive. Very, very impressive. And it just means we've got more for January and more for next summer. And that's before we even get rid of any other players.
That is going to be part of my talk there tonight. That was part of what I was going to discuss, but we can continue to discuss that. And look, people, everyone that's watching, we've got nearly 550 in the chat. We're only going to do a quick just reaction, and this is exactly what it's been. Thank you for tuning in. But people, forget the noise. Forget the noise that you're hearing on social media. Forget the noise of opposition fans. Forget the noise of Liverpool fans. Forget the noise of negative Newcastle United fans. What we need to do right now is remain positive. We got what we needed. We've invested in the team. We are ready to go for this season. We can now properly attack the season. No black clouds over us. No negativity in the background. It's all gone. Let's kick on.
Yeah. Totally agree. And we have to remember that. I've had loads of Liverpool fans today biting at me, trying to get a bite out of me to make me react, to make me angry. And they're all like, why are you so happy? And I'm like, because I think the window's been a success. I really, really do. And I'm so pleased that we drew a line under Alexander Isak. But anyway, as you're right, Pete, we are going to finish there. We're going to wrap. And it's just to remind everybody, we are going to be doing a show later, almost a transfer window summary, a deadline day summary of where we are, what it means for Newcastle United, what we've got to look forward to. So everybody keep a lookout for it. We haven't quite agreed on a time yet, but we will be going live later on. So if you get a chance, keep a lookout. Make sure you hit that notification bell and you will be notified of when Loads of Mag goes live. So keep a lookout for it, and we will be back later.
Aiming for around between 8 and 9. So keep your notifications on between 8 and 9, because we could pop up at any time. But we will let you know. We will tweet out, and yes, we will be back. Thank you for tuning in, people. Share this video with other people. Click the like on your way out. We will be back very, very soon. People, we got our number 9. How do you like that?
How you like How you like like that.